Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm super stoked and excited to be talking about this release today. This is going to be the full deluxe edition of the Japanese version of Godzilla Minus One. Now, I myself am a massive Godzilla fan. I own every Godzilla movie on VHS. I have the Criterion Collection version of Godzilla, and I love this movie. I was a massive fan of Shin Godzilla. I'm a lesser fan of the new Godzilla stuff, the Godzilla vs. Kong, which just wants to throw up oversaturated colors at you, but this has definitely a better aesthetic and a more muted palette, and definitely harkens back to the earlier era of Godzilla, as this is also set way before Shin Godzilla as well. So let's get into this packaging. We'll talk a little bit about the video presentation and then the rocking, killing Dolby Atmos that this has, because it is incredible. It's chef's kiss to that. It is on par with the Dune 2 one that I just watched. You know, we're not going to go over Dune 2 here, but that has a pretty awesome Dolby Atmos, and so does Godzilla Minus One. So I definitely want to talk about that. But let's get into this packaging, because this is why I bought this thing. So I love this movie. I saw it in theaters multiple times. I went back. I saw the black and white version, which is definitely the inferior version of this, if I will say. And having watched it again here, I still think this movie was made to be shown in color. It was color graded that, so you miss out on Godzilla's like blue, effects, going up his back and his spine. All that is kind of out of play here if it's in black and white, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get into this incredible packaging. This might end up being the best release of the year. We're not at the end of the yet, but the packaging is incredible. So here, we'll show off the front here, the J card on the back. Even the J card is cool, even the J card is cool in this release. So there's the back there, there's the back, side, top, bottom. All right, let's get into this thing. Slide this out. Ooh, I want to save that for later, no sneak peeks here. Anyway, so this is akin to kind of like an air release. You get a couple little booklets here. All in Japanese, of course. I do want to mention that as well if you are curious. This release is fully in Japanese. There are no English subtitles, so just know that going in. If you're like, that's pretty cool, but I don't speak Japanese, then this release, it might not be for you as far as a viewing thing. As a shelf thing, it's definitely a must buy. But let's get into the other booklet, which is kind of going to be this art booklet that they've got here, which just has a lot of really cool art from the movie. It's got a lot of like unused storyboard stuff and posters and just an array of different things from Godzilla Minus One. So this is something that is super cool that I enjoyed diving into. Now let's get into what you came for, and that is going to be this bad boy. This thing is badass, and I love this thing. It's incredible. This is just half. This would have been cool just for this. And then it opens up even more, and you get this full-on IMAX poster type thing of this destroyed city and Godzilla just standing there like the hulking monster he is. Now, let's show off the other side. This is where all your discs are going to be housed. Again, incredible artwork here. And you have your 4K disc, your Blu-ray disc, Godzilla Minus One, and then an extras disc. So that is what is housed in this collection right here. We've got a lot of good stuff in here. Again, your booklets and this, and then it all gets housed in this badass hard shell case. So we've got a lot of cool stuff here. Now, the video. This has Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. The Dolby Vision does a lot here. Again, the palette is very muted, so the HDR is not like crushing it. But when there is fire, explosions, like I said, the blue on Godzilla's spine comes up, all that stuff just jumps off the screen because the palette is so muted in the background. And let's get to the thing and not the surprise. I didn't think it was going to be bad because the theater experience was so good. But man, this badass soundtrack and just the mix itself, this Dolby Atmos, is so good. Now, granted, there are not like Godzilla is sprinkled throughout this movie. He is in this movie. Definitely more than that 2014 movie. He shows up, he got a ticket to his own movie in this version. But this soundtrack is really good, the music is really good, and dude, when you just hear Godzilla roar, it will shake your fucking room if you got some good speakers, which I do and which it did. So I was just super ecstatic watching this. I had a smile on my face the whole time. I think I've just been picking better releases for physical media just to cover in general and to buy, because I just love this release and I couldn't wait to get it, and I am just super excited to tell you about it now. I really like this movie, so if you missed out on this movie, dude, I cannot wait till this comes out in the States in any form, because people need to watch this. If you didn't see it, it needs to come out like on 4K right now. Do I think we're gonna get a release on this caliber? I really don't know. You know, if you've got any information, let me know down below. If any of you guys have thoughts on what you would like to see, but do I think we're gonna get this? I don't know. Now, could they do an identical thing just in English? Yes, but do I think they're going to do that? Probably not. And I don't know. It's just one of those things that Godzilla is so revered in Japan, and so I just think this was kind of a special thing for the Japanese audience, and I'm just not sure if we're going to get something on this level. I think we'll get kind of like a single disc version of it with some of the special features, and then maybe a deluxe version that has like the black and white version and maybe an extra disc as well, and maybe some of these booklets, but I don't know. I would love to get this. I would love to buy this again. I would love to just spend the same amount of money on it again and have it in English, because that would also be awesome. Now, I do hope that if they do make this in America, they do slightly change. Even though I like this cover, it would be cool to have a different cover if you were going to buy both versions, but I guess I'm in the minority here that is buying both versions. Now, as far as the price goes, this is on eBay. It's going to go from roughly 110. I've seen all the way up to like 180 on eBay. Do not pay $180 for this. Mine was around 109, I think, after shipping and stuff like that. So it came from Kyoto. So it did take a couple days, not too long. I got it in like 4 days. I didn't expect it to get it today, honestly, when I'm filming this, because it kept saying different things. Then all of a sudden it was like, hey, your package is here. And I was like, oh boy. Let's dive into it. I love Godzilla. I'm sure you do too, because you're here. You're curious about this awesome like deluxe edition from Japan. Anyway, I recommend it if you know Japanese. Obviously, this is a no-brainer. You can just buy this, and that's the version you can have. If you just want to own a cool piece of Godzilla like physical media, then I recommend it there. It might come down in price, but I don't know. As these sell out, if they do there, I'm not really sure how the scarcity in Japan is for this version. If you know that, let me know that as well. Is this going to be a must-own for you? That is something that you're going to have to decide from your wallet and from a standpoint of it may be a movie that you're just going to have to visually and auditorily hear and not understand. But again, I think we'll probably get something around November, December for this movie. That would give it a good turnaround. Shin Godzilla did get something, I think it was like maybe 10 to 11 months. I can't remember the exact, time frame for Shin Godzilla, but we did get one of those as well in the States. So I'm hoping of that. Now, sometimes also the other thing they do is, they did this with Dragon Ball, is that Japan got the Dragon Ball movie in 4K when they did Superhero long before, like in December, and we didn't get it till like, I can't remember when we got the 4K, but it was months later that we actually got the 4K in the States. So they may do something like that too, where they get the 4K over there, we don't get it right away, we get a Blu-ray, and then later on we get a 4K, which is what they did when they brought the steelbooks out here. So I don't know, that would suck also if they didn't do a 4K right away, but I don't have any inside information on what they're gonna do. I'm rambling about distribution things. Anyway, this is an awesome release. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you like what we do here, I'm losing it at the end of thinking about that stuff. Anyway, if you like what we do here, consider becoming part of the collective. We do a lot of awesome stuff with physical media and horror. That is my bread and butter here. We cover a lot of weird and obscure horror. So definitely subscribe for all of that. I do videos every Sunday and then sprinkled throughout the week with some 4K stuff. So definitely look forward to all of that. I'll link Killer Clowns from Outer Space at the end of this, which was my most recent 4K review. That was another killer release from this year. And I will talk to you guys in my next 4K review.